Would you like me to tell you a fishing story? Or would you rather feel like you were there? Would you like me to tell you a fishing story? Or would you rather feel like you were there? Today I'm going to talk about how people that post photos and videos on Facebook with their vacations or their gigs that they're playing. A lot of times when people are posting their photos or their videos, they're not really including you into the storyline. But if you're an artist, that's what you want to do. You want to invite people into the story, make them feel like they're there with you. So the best part is to have a friend, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a husband, or a wife, whoever can help you out at that time to use your camera to record your footage for you. Be sure they know how to run your camera, and also try to make sure if they understand a little bit of lighting and stuff like that. But you can always go back at home and take a good video software, some editing software, and chop things up and edit stuff in post. But as long as you've got somebody there, you don't need a camera crew. You can do this on your own. As long as you got one good friend with you, that's a person to hold the camera. Another thing, don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Take it for instance, Ozzy Osbourne was known as the Prince of Darkness to all of his fans. From Black Sabbath to his solo career on through the 80s and the 90s. He was known to his fans as this awesome rock god. But then there was a group of people that didn't like him, that thought he was possessing their children and thought he was a bad influence. But in the early 2000s, he came with a show called The Osbournes. And at that time, he started showing his vulnerable side. And what people seen was Ozzy Osbourne eating a sandwich and watching TV and hearing his kids scream and complain about life and how hard things are for him. They felt like, wow, Ozzy Osbourne's a little bit like me. And in a sense, that's what you're supposed to do. You're inviting people into your life, unless if you're intentionally trying to create an image that you don't want people to know about you as much. Take a character like Mark Calaway, The Undertaker. It was so hard for so many years for him to close that character from being Mark Calaway and The Undertaker. And now you hear more about Mark Calaway and The Undertaker because he's merged those two characters in. But if you're trying to create a wider range of folks at the time and you don't have 30 years to spend on one character, then I would suggest letting them in on who you are and what you're doing. And you don't need the latest, greatest technology to do this stuff. As I go back to, I'll say you could take a basic DSLR camera with a 50mm lens or a 24mm lens, and you can make some pretty cool shots. It don't have to be 4K. Right now I'm using a Canon T3i with an off-brand 50mm lens, basically used for vlogging and little personal face shots and stuff. But it doesn't take the most expensive equipment to do these things. Now, it's good to have a good microphone so that you get a proper audio, and as far as outdoors goes, sometimes you're going to have to use a lower volume setting, and then those times like that you can use little soundtrack pieces of your music or some other person's music to put in there to help with the little wind sounds and stuff like that. And there's also ways of getting rid of those popping sounds by creating your own pop filters. And they're not as hard as you think they are. You know, the main thing that you do in life at anything is take an action. So if you take action at whatever you're doing right now, you're going to get good at it. Whether you're learning an instrument, or whether you're trying to make your band more noticeable, or you're trying to get better with your band. Everybody's working together. But it takes time, but it also takes commitment. So if you commit to these things, to whatever you're doing at the moment, you can make these, over time, you can make things happen. It doesn't happen as fast as you'd like it to, but it does happen. And if anything else, I hope some of this helps you out. And just remember, I'm going to do a few more of these videos as well. As long as you like them, I'll keep throwing them out there. But tell your friends, and I hope this advice helped you. And stay cool.